Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Gemini and Sagittarius on Wednesdays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the Solo Busca Tarot. We already have some jumpers. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the link is in the description. But I do want to give you guys the heads up that these cards are a lot bigger than the cards that I'm used to working with, so it's a little harder for me to shuffle them. Ergo, a little harder for me to get jumpers, but we're doing our best. And the goal here is to get you guys 8 or 9 cards, and then we'll get started on your reading. Also, I do see the cards that are flipping over in the deck. Usually I don't take the cards that flip over in the deck, I only really take the cards that jump out. However, I do see them, I do know that they're there. Alright, so I'm just going to take this time to remind you guys that if you enjoy the reading, please leave a like or a comment. It's the best way for me to know if the reading resonates with you guys. But your overall energy here, we have the Star card, which is actually a really good energy for you guys to have, mostly because I feel that you guys are really dealing with a lot of wish fulfillment right now, because whenever I see the Star card, I instantly think of wish fulfillment, wishful thinking, anything that has to do with sort of wanting or longing almost. But the fact that we have the Star card here with also the 10 of Pentacles and like the 7 of Pentacles and even the Hierophant, like all this energy feels very stable to me. There's a whole lot of pentacles here, so 1, 2, 3, and then yeah, these 3. So I feel like you guys are not necessarily having outlandish wishes here. I feel like you guys are having very realistic dreams and very realistic plans to achieve them. And I think that more than anything, the Star card here is showing up to really reassure you guys that you're going to end up achieving the things that you've laid out for you. I feel like you guys have sort of sat down and kind of made a 5-year plan almost, especially with this Hierophant and the 10 of Pentacles. I do want to say before I get further into the reading that you have the Hierophant and the Star, which represent the signs of Taurus and Aquarius, respectively. So if you're dealing with any of those signs, you can take that to be extra confirmation, but it doesn't have to be. But like I was saying, this Hierophant really speaks of tradition, and it really speaks of... I'm trying to sort of explain tradition in a different way, but I think that you guys are really trying to do things by the book, by the really set your roots almost. Like the word that I'm hearing is roots and home. I'm like picturing a home in sort of a neighborhood, very sort of like middle class suburbia kind of thing. And I feel like with this 10 of Pentacles here, that's kind of what you've been after. Like this is the goal that you've set for you guys. And my 10 of Pentacles, I like to call it the happy wife, happy life card. So to me, it's the ideal family, sort of environment. And whatever that looks like to you will obviously be different. You know, for some people it's a white picket fence and 2 dogs and 2 kids. For other people it might just be an apartment in downtown. But whatever it is, that's your goal, and I feel like you're definitely setting out to achieve it. And I feel like you guys have been doing a lot of maturity work. I feel like you guys have really been trying to do things in a way that's responsible and realistic and not outlandish. Like I was saying earlier with the star card, like you're not doing things in an unrealistic way. You're being very smart about your goals. And we have the 6 of Cups here with the 8 of Cups. Now the 8 of Cups is walking away, and the 6 of Cups is nostalgia, childlike wonder. So I feel like combining those 2 energies, you're sort of leaving, I don't want to say like your inner child or whatever, but I feel like you're leaving behind childish energy or childish tendencies that you maybe had in the past. I feel like you've had a wake-up call recently that really has told you to mature, and I feel like you've answered it and you've done the work and you're working towards your goal, right? Because we have the Page of Pentacles here, and the Page of Pentacles to me talks about a message of stability, right? So I feel like sometimes out in the workforce it's a little bit like difficult to project how much money you're going to be making, especially since like, oh, you could get a promotion tomorrow, or maybe you'll find a better job or whatever. But I feel like you guys are really working towards that. And with the 7 of Pentacles here, 7 of Pentacles to me talks about like planting a seed of intention and watering it, right? Receiving the rewards for your harvest, but also the act of watering it. So it's like going out every day and saying, okay, I have my X amount of water that I'm going to use on this plant. I have X amount of water I'm going to use on this plant. I'm going to jot it all down. I'm going to keep track. I'm going to measure out the plant, how much it's grown, right? And I feel like it's almost like you're not just growing tomatoes in your backyard or whatever. I feel like you're growing the biggest pumpkin of the competition or whatever. So with these 2 energies combined, I feel like you guys have really been putting work towards stability. And now you're going to receive some kind of a message, because the pages are messages, right? So we're going to receive some kind of a message that is going to improve your stability. And I feel like it's going to be direct result to the 7 of Pentacles energy that you've been putting in. I feel like you've been very noticeably working towards your stability, which you've been sort of setting the intention for with this card, this card, this card, and like these cards. So you're working towards that, and I feel like you're gonna really achieve that. Especially since we have the Knight of Wands here with the 7 of Wands in reverse. So what's very interesting is because I'm looking at the 7 of Wands in reverse, right? And then we have the 5 of Cups. These 3 energies feel very interconnected to me, but I'm looking at this the 7 of Wands, and it almost looks like the 10 of Wands to me, right? It's very reminiscent of the 10 of Wands, where it's like he has all these burdens that he's trying to carry, and they're really heavy, and he kind of can't. But the fact that it's in reverse leads me to believe that you're sort of relieving burdens. That's sort of just an intuitive message that I'm receiving from that card. But I think moreover, the 7 of Wands to me is my worth fighting for card, right? So I feel like because that's in reverse, you guys are determining the things in your life that are not worth fighting for. And I feel like one of those things has to do with your job, because I feel like you guys have been really stressing out about your job and like trying to put in 110% to be noticed or whatever. But I feel like now you're sort of learning to play the water cooler game a little bit, and that's kind of what you've been honing here with your skills, and you've been networking for sure. Gemini is the sign of networking, and I think that beyond just any of that, I really like having the Knight of Wands here, because the Knight of Wands to me is a message of passion, right? So I feel like you guys are going to become a lot more passionate about your work. Either you're going to become a lot more passionate about the current job that you're at, or this Knight and this Page are going to sort of combine into one, and you're going to be offered another job or another position or something else that you either wanted more, that you've been pining for with this Star card, or that you're just more passionate about. And I feel like the fact that you are going to be in a position where you're more passionate and care more about what you do, I feel like that's going to severely improve your quality of life. Because the Five of Cups is here, right? And the Five of Cups usually talks about disappointments. And I feel like for some of you, you might be leaving a job, and your coworkers and your employer are disappointed to hear that. Because I really do feel like you've been putting in a lot of work. But sometimes you got to you got to look out for number one, and I feel like you're seeing a lot more stability now. And then I feel like the other meaning for this Five of Cups is that you currently are disappointed in your work or in your current state. And, you know, it's not where you envisioned yourself to be. And it's not where you're envisioning yourself to be with these cards here. And now that you're really doing this, like, look into manifestation. I feel like a lot of you are doing that, but you're definitely manifesting this positive outcome for both of you. Why did I want to say both of you? Do you guys have some kind of a partner or some kind of a child? I feel like there may be more people involved, especially with this card here that makes me feel like the Ten of Wands almost. I feel like you guys have the burden of dealing with other people. That's not necessarily the nicest way of putting it, but I feel like there is some difficulty here because you have to take care of people. But with all this energy taken into consideration, I feel like you guys are definitely going to pull through in the end when it comes to stability. But that was your reading for this time around, Gemini. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Gemini videos on Wednesdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for next reading.